All right.
Hey.
So, you told me that you want to improve mainly your jungle effectiveness, your echo gameplay as well, of course, and then also, interestingly, what I liked is also you want to do like game knowledge. Do you mean like, do you feel like you don't have a great grasp on like knowing what the enemy champions do sometimes in the game or something like that, or what exactly, or what made you tick that box, I guess?
Yeah, so I started playing last year, in January, and so I haven't got all that much experience in the first place. And secondly, I guess what bothers me is when I get very unusual enemy team comps or enemy or unusual allied team comps, or when the enemy picks a champion that I'm not very familiar with because I've only played in like low elo,
Mm-hmm.
in like silver and gold, and in norms I've played a lot with like platinum and emerald players, because I often get queued with them in norms. But in ranked, there's like quite a narrow champion pool that I see. And
Really?
when I see a champ that like doesn't get played all that often in my elo, I'm not always sure how to play against them. And they also usually get fed because my teammates also won't necessarily know how to play against them, and then I just don't always know what to do.
Hmm.
But I guess mostly what I want to focus on is like decision making,
Yeah.
because I feel like that's where I lack the most. And
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I
that's sorry for interrupting, but like let me like that's where I can definitely help you the most as well. That's like the because the other thing what you said, of course, the game knowledge beyond Echo is like it's something where you kind of just either have to get the experience by playing the game for a longer time. You only started like what like 2 seasons ago, I guess. So you really just have
uh,
not played the game for a long time.
yeah, last season.
So yeah, it's just yeah actually yeah just last season, right? So it's really not a long time to really learn all the champs and whatever. So that's completely understandable. And then but that's something either like what you can do of course is just look up what all the champs do, like basically study it in that sense. That's like because otherwise you're just holding yourself back, right? You're kind of holding yourself back for no reason by just not knowing what you're up against, and that's obviously not never gonna be good. Mm, but you could also just, if you don't want to put in that time, just like maybe like look up what the champs do before. If you get into a game and you're like, I have no clue what this champ does, just like Google really quick, look at the champ and see what the abilities do, so you at least have a basic idea, you know. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's no reason to play a game and then be surprised by the enemy abilities. You know, it's really that's kind of unnecessary to lose games like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
um, I guess. Yeah, I guess let me just share my screen and we can take a look at your OPGG. Definitely also very important here. There's a bunch of things that I because what I can see. Tell me when you can see the screen.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
So like you're building Zhonya's every game, basically. Like way too much. Zhonya's is an item you should be building very very rarely. Like the only champs you should be building Zhonya's against is like Rangar and Kha'Zix, basically, or like fed assassins, like fed AD assassins, if anything. And even then, like the biggest mistake you're doing here in your item building is that you're building it before Rabadons. Like if you build
Mm.
Zhonya's, you should always, if anything, build it after Rabadons, never before. Like Rabadons needs to be your third item in 99% of the games. In some games it can be void stuff, but 99% of the time it should just be Rabadons, and then you can buy the Zhonya's as the fourth item if you really need to. But be honest with me here, like, do you feel like you get good value out of the Zhonya's? Because in my experience, most of the people in your elo that buy Zhonya's, they just use it and then they die right afterwards, you know? Do you feel like that
Uh,
happens to you, or...
I actually feel like I get good value out of it, mostly because I think it can be very useful when you want to like play extended fights,
Mm,
like maybe for an objective. And also, I just think of it as like an extra ability, sort of like an extra
mm,
ultimate of some sort. And I just like how it feels when I'm doing combos. Especially because people sometimes just stay on top of my head when my ulti is up, and then I can just Zonias
Okay.
and then ulti and do stuff.
Yes, but see,
Um,
this the only reason this works is because you're in silver, you know. So it's like a bad habit that you're building, you know. Like really, it's a bad habit because like in at some point people will just not react as badly, and then this kind of stuff won't work, and it's just the value is really bad. And as it like, just trust me on this. Really, you want to have the Rabadon's third. Like it's you just deal so much less damage if you have Zhonya's. Really, so much.
mhm.
You really the Rabadon's third. Like you have good stats in some games. You probably just didn't have the carry potential you could have had if you built the Rabadon's third. You even built it in these games before the Rabadons. Yeah, like really get into like understand that it's much better to build like it's basically illegal to build Zhonya's third. Think of it as genuinely being illegal. And then second thing, I think the rune setup is fine this patch, but next patch, you know, like I don't know if you've looked at it, but like all of these runes are getting nerfed quite hard.
Yeah,
So
I actually wanted to ask also what your opinion is on that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
on
See,
this.
like just gonna show you like the runes I've been running, and I think they felt very good. I have to say, like these runes, I've been playing with them for a bunch of games now, and I like them a lot. Like just first strike is also getting nerfed a tiny bit, but way less than the other runes. So I think you should
Hmm.
just be switching to that. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I guess do you always build
Gambit.
Lichbane? That's fine. Yeah, that's good. I think that's actually a good thing. Like sometimes people ask me, should you build Lichbane? Should you build Nashers? I think honestly, just build one item, either of them. Think like, make the decision which one you like playing with more, and then stick to it and like learn your limits. Like I've been building Lichbane every game as well recently, and I like it a lot. There's good echoes that build Nashers every game, but I think it's actually good to just stick with one item and then really learn your limits, learn the playstyle with it, and that's gonna help you much more than trying to switch it out and thinking which one makes more sense, because it's kind of hard to predict oftentimes. So yeah, definitely like looking at your stats, I guess your farm is actually fine. I would even say for your elo especially. I would say there's people a higher elo than you that have less farm. Um, so it's for sure something that can still improve. I'm more than sure, but it's not like the biggest thing. I guess your deaths are definitely something that can be lower for sure, you know. But that's kind of it's kind of normal, you know. You have just not played the game for a long time. You probably have like are those your first 35 Echo games, or have you played them last season as well already?
Um, I picked him up this
Mm,
season for sure.
yeah, you haven't really played them a lot. So these are
Yeah, I
like
have
your
like
first couple of games, so you need to learn your limits. It's completely normal to not have like good stats or anything. So I think it's actually a good idea even to get a coaching session kind of early on, I guess, when you're picking up a new champ, because then you might avoid building these bad habits, you know, because I can already tell you when things are like bad or whatever. And because I just did like game reviews where the guy, he always had like, he went for tons of coin flip plays, and then sometimes the coin flip, they went into his favor, of course, because that's how coin flips work, right? They're like a 50-50, but uh, like most of them were still mistakes, right? They were just bad coin flips, and they went into his favor because of misplays or whatever. And in this kind of stuff, it builds really bad habits. So I think it's definitely good. Like if I see stuff happening or whatever, I can still point out to you if it should actually be happening. But yeah, like the biggest thing item building wise is for sure gonna be the Zhonya's. Just switch that out. Like really don't build it often in general, but if you build it, then never build it before Rabadons. Like really never. It takes away so much carry potential. Trust me. And then yeah, I also like looking at the League of Graphs. Definitely, I guess visible. You can see right. This is the blue one is yours, and the yellow one is the average. So it definitely seems like you're a little bit too passive. You could be more aggressive. Again, it's kind of probably influenced by the fact that you just haven't played too much. Like you don't really know your limits, and that's more than normal. But I'm just gonna say, of course, it's definitely something just for learning your limits, I guess the best way to do that is just by playing as aggressive as possible. And I guess another thing is also because you build Zhonya's, you know. Zhonya's, of course, deals way less damage than Rabadon's, so that might be another factor where this is below average here. Yeah, like these kind of graphs, in a good, in a perfect world, they're just like going up, you know. Like they're basically going up like this. And minions
mm-hmm.
advantage, it should also just be like, all of these should just be positive. But yeah, like this is all excusable, honestly, for the fact that you haven't played too much Ekko. Yeah, this is not the stuff we probably need to worry about too much. Yeah, you ping, that's actually good. Like I actually like looking at these stats for pinging, because I think pinging is a very underrated thing. Like it makes a big difference, honestly, if you ping and like communicate with your team. I think it's
Yeah,
a
that's
good
my
habit.
as well.
Yeah. Mm. And then yeah, I mean, I'm always just looking at the surrender rate. Like, sure, it's not really influenced by you. I'm just saying, like, as an Ekko player, you should not have the habit to surrender very easily, because um, Ekko is a champ that can very very easily come back in games, and especially in this low elo. You know, like in low elo, you just get like 1 or 2 kills. You just all of a sudden you can 1v9 the game, and like even higher elos. Ekko is just a very he's one of the best scaling champs in the game. You know, so
Yeah,
definitely don't
yeah.
surrender many games. Well, this is interesting to see. Like you're 30. Although this is not Ekko only stat, so yeah, I'm always just looking at the surrender thing. Oops. Okay, I guess you said you have one game in mind that you want me to take a look at. Which one is that?
Yeah, I actually had an even better one yesterday. If you scroll up, it's the most recent one.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because I
These
feel
kind of
like I
games
had
are often good. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like I had a lot of influence on this game, but then I
Hmm.
just made some bad decisions and um we just lost it in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the
That's
human
good.
is just a disaster, but that's just
No, but
the
don't. Oh, fuck, he's 1 and 18. Holy, yeah, okay. It's definitely a problem, but in your elo you can like you can negate these kind of mistakes, like or no, you can equalize this, right? Like you can really don't. It's definitely good if you don't think about your teammates too much. Like don't focus on them.
Yeah.
It's never helpful. It really isn't. Like just accept that people will make mistakes, and yeah, it's just how it is. It happens in
Yeah.
every elo as well. It never gets better.
Oh, really? That's
Not
kind of
really.
good.
Like maybe okay, like 118 is definitely not something I see every day, but it's like there's always gonna be days where you have people that just hardcore underperform, and like sometimes you might underperform yourself. So it's just how it is, you know.
I've heard that I've heard that it's especially bad in Emerald and Diamond because then people like pointedly go AFK and troll if
Mm.
it doesn't favor. At least that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I think especially in Diamond is one of those ranks. I don't know, like I have not been in Emerald since it was introduced, but Diamond is definitely one of those ranks where people think they have achieved something and they're like they have some ego or whatever, and that definitely makes them AFK and whatever more often. Okay, are you doing the Raptors path here or? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, I saw this in your video and I
Mm-hmm.
liked it. I did try it out, but I didn't feel like it worked all that much for me because I feel like I can't get all that much value out of the like I'm just used to full clearing and
Mm-hmm.
then it's just hard for me to navigate around the camp respawn times.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I actually also went back to full clearing. That's why I even asked. Like, I think it's better full clearing. It's just more consistent. So, yeah, just go back to it, honestly. And I think especially next patch, it's gonna be even more favored to go for full clearing. So yeah,
mhm.
it's fine. I guess you can do this a little bit more efficiently. Just like clear these ones and don't use the Q before they open up. You know, like make them
Uh-huh.
pop so your Q hits all the small. See, because now you're wasting a little bit of time just auto attacking them. But this
Yeah, I made this
is
mistake all the time.
yeah, but this is really small stuff. Like this is not the stuff that's winning or losing you games. I'm just still gonna point it out because it's a small mistake. Okay, let's see. Should you be ganking
Yeah,
mid
sure.
here? Yeah, this is definitely. I mean, this is definitely gankable. This guy's kind of full HP, but he's also not respecting or anything at all. And you have a Pantheon here.
Yeah, he
Well,
actually played it really well, and we just overchased.
yeah. Well, okay. See, I mean, I feel like the Pantheon wasn't really ready for you to gank here. I don't know. So first, I guess you didn't ping here, right? You actually didn't communicate. Did you? Oh no, you did. You did. Never mind. You did
Yeah,
ping.
and we
Yep.
we talked about this in chat when the game
Ah,
started. I
okay.
told him, and he agreed.
Ah, okay. Just in general for this kind of stuff, I don't think you should ever do that. You know, I don't think you should ever make these kind of plans with your team beforehand. It might it might sound like a good idea, but usually it's much better to just let the game play out naturally and not force people to play in a certain way, you know, because it might either be like a bad idea in general, you know, like sometimes you might say, oh, I want to commit, but then like the matchup doesn't really allow it or something, and then that's bad. Or another thing is just like it just for like it just it's just better to let the game play out naturally and let like the people play how they normally would play, and then just see if there's opportunities, because trust me, there will always be opportunities, like every single time. So yeah, like this is actually fine. What should have happened here is that the Pantheon queues now. Like you should queue now, get the spell shield. You need to place your W though. Like that's like your mistake here, not placing W. You just need to place W somewhere in his path now, from outside of vision. Really important. Like you know, like if they see you casting the W, of course they hear a sound and this kind of stuff. They see the cast animation, so they have a much easier time reacting. If you cast it from outside of vision, all they see is like the last part of when it comes flying in. You know. So always in these situations, always cast a W, and then like this is not even that gankable now at this point. It really isn't, because like this guy's already moving away. So at this point, you can basically just turn around. The Pantheon didn't react properly how he had to. If he had reacted properly, he would have, as I said, he would have queued him here to get the spell shield, and then he would have W'd him, and then you could have ganked him for sure. Would have at least gotten his flash, but the way this guy is not doing anything here is just like nothing's gonna happen, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, you already said yourself you overchased here, but like yeah, at this point you just need to realize that you're probably not gonna get him. Like, if anything, this guy needs to flash now, but then you're probably just gonna get his. Yeah, this is like way too fucking deep. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking even if it doesn't work out, I can go for the MF and deluxe afterwards if they don't react.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's very, very deep. I was actually laughing at myself as this happened.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you though, like, okay, let me ask you, what do you think is wrong here though, again? Like, you could have gotten a kill here, I'm pretty sure. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's missing in this sequence?
Well, I definitely feel like I could have W'd earlier.
Exactly,
And maybe timed
yeah.
the flash better.
Nah, the W is like, it's just missing, you know? You could have just put the W, like, you need to just... I've been saying this, I think, in every single coaching session recently. It's just like, because that's a very common thing for lower elo Echoes, it's just that they don't use the W, or they don't use it well. And it's like, the reason that Riot put the W into Echo's kit is because it's super important to him, you know? And the reason it's a 22-second cooldown is also because it's a really, really, really good spell. So if you don't use it, like, here you could have used it so well, you could have just put it here somewhere or whatever, and then you could have just... Then the Pantheon could have maybe flashed at the right time to stun him, and then you stun the Malzahar for a long time, he can't escape, you know? So like,
Yeah.
Imagine you just put it here now. The Pantheon, he's already in range, he doesn't even need to flash at this point. You can just W then when the Malzahar's on top of here, and you have a very, like, and then you're not even overchasing, then it's completely fine, you know, what you're doing here.
Yeah.
But it's just missing, you know, like the W, and now, okay, he used it a little bit too early, but you can still place it in his path here somewhere. And then when he's gonna flash away, you're at least gonna like slow him and maybe have the shield. But I think, yeah, I don't know, like you're just not gonna get him like this. So you used a lot here.
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to hold on to my flash because I didn't want to waste it unless it was like absolutely necessary, but then I just missed the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you wasted your flash in the end, right? So
Yeah.
it's not worth, like, it's worth trading your flash for a kill, but it's not worth trading your flash for a flash as a jungler.
Yeah.
Especially not like
You're
as
right.
Ekko. So here, I mean, it's gankable, honestly. Like, of course, you need your W. I'm pretty sure you should probably need your W, but let's see. Maybe you can even kill them without it. No, just focus the Lux here. She's kind of low. That's good. You throw your Q. Okay. Yeah, that's completely fine. I mean, I actually like the fact that you didn't E on her here. A lot of lower elo Echoes, they would have 100% just eat on the Lux right away. I think it's actually really good that you just throw the Q, and then you're just still below them, you know? And if they do flash away or something like that, you can just follow them with your E. That's like a really good thing to do in these situations where you don't need the E to get into range. Just hold it, and then either for like when they flash away or just for repositioning so you can hit the return Q. So I guess
Yeah, that was
one small thing is just like you didn't hit the return Q on the Lux. It could have been a little bit cleaner, but like this is not the stuff we need to focus on. It's just
no. Feel free to tell.
I'm just telling you. I'm just saying it's not the stuff that you should be taking away from this. I'm just gonna point it out, but it's not because you even got the kills here. So it's just like optimally you just proc the passive right away, and then you go on the MF. So you didn't even need to E or whatever, but it really doesn't matter because you still easily get both kills here. And I guess if the MF was more healthier, then you definitely want to place the W more towards here, right? Since she was so low that only 1 or 2 more auto attacks killed her anyways, it doesn't matter, but this W is never gonna stun her if she's a bit more healthy.
Yeah, I was just going to slow her, I think, because it does slow, I think.
Yeah, but why would you slow her if you can also stun her, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And also, like, I don't even think it would have slowed her, you know? Like, you basically placed it on top of her, and okay, I mean, she's kind of slowed from the Rapper, so she might get slowed, she might even get stunned here. But still, like, there's no reason to not just place it here and then make sure she actually gets stunned or has to turn around, you know? And now, like, a real high elo thing you could be doing is recalling now. Or, like, getting the crap and then recalling. I think that would be the perfect thing to do. Because you have a lot of gold to spend. And understand, of course, like, right now you're clearing these camps the way you would be clearing them... Well, you're clearing them without items, right? So you're not clearing very fast. But if you just get your items now, go to your top side again, where the camps are going to be respawning in a second, then you're just going to have a really good time, and you're not going to be missing XP or anything. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I learned recently, and that really helped my gameplay a lot. Like, taking a reset now, okay, you're actually doing that, that's really good. Let's see if you're going to your top of your bot side, though. Yeah, this is like the... Man, like, you're fucking silver, but you're, like, doing quite well in this game, to be honest. Like, there's people in Master or whatever that don't even know this. But, like, it's really good if you go here now, for many reasons. Like, the first reason is that going here now means that the Briar can't invade you or anything, right? So you're basically taking away all the counterplay that she has. And she also hasn't even based yet, you know? So if she would be here, you would just beat her. Like, yes, you're a little bit behind in XP, but you would beat her. And then also these camps are level 4, so they're worth a little bit more, you know? Like, these are still your level 1 camps, but these are the respawn camps, so they're worth more. And then you could just be pathing down here, or you could even be around top. So yeah, it's like, honestly, like, this is the stuff that I've done up until very recently as well, going through my bot set here. But the better play would actually be to go to your top side and just clear these level 1 camps afterwards. And then another smaller thing, also pathing efficiency, is starting at the blue here. Because what you will see, like, okay, let's just see. You probably do Gromp, blue, wolves. It's like the standard thing that most people do. But the thing is, it's better to either do the buff first or last, you know? So the reason you want to do that is because next time these camps are spawning, they will spawn together now, you know? If you would have done that correctly. But since you did the blue buff in between, so taking the blue buff takes you, like, I don't know, 15-20 seconds in the early game. So that means the next camp here is gonna respawn the next time 15-20 seconds later. So in scenarios where, like, nothing is happening on the map, you know, like, genuinely nothing is happening on the map and you can't go for any ganks or whatever, then you can get punished. Like, it can feel bad, you know, because then you might have to wait for the camp to respawn, or it's just awkward, you know, and you can so easily avoid it by just starting to clear at the like, buffs, you know. Either start there or end there. So let's say you come over here and you start clearing at wolves, and you do wolves, grump, and then blue, and then you go bot or something. Actually, exactly the reason you should be going top here is what happens, right? The Briar invades you, and you could have... you actually did everything correctly up until the point where you went down here. If you had just went up here, you could have punished her here, probably. Either punished her, or just, like, she wouldn't have even went for that invade.
Yeah.
You see that, right? Like, it's actually good awareness by her to even go for that invade, to be honest, but... yeah, like, this is exactly why... this is, like, actually perfect that it even showed in this game why you need to... or why you should be going top here. Because understand that you will get these camps later on anyways, you know? You're gaining nothing by clearing them now. You will be clearing them later on anyways. And also by clearing from... the other thing you need to think about is the effect where you're gonna end up, you know? So now that you're starting on bot side, it means you're probably gonna end up here, and you need to think if that's where you want to end up. Like it might be, but like it might also not be. And like in this situation, I'm not sure if it is like the where you want to end up. You know, I'm really not sure.
In this case, it actually was because I was hoping I might be able to help Yone before Garen gets too fat. Cause he had already been killed once by them. But yeah, it was just wishful thinking.
Exactly, and like not just that, but also it's just like again maybe a little bit of matchup awareness and whatever missing just because you're a pretty new player. I mean, for sure, Yon can do stuff or whatever, but like if you just press tab, you know, you see that this guy is super weak. So at this point, honestly, like just drop him, you know. Like okay, not drop him completely. If there's actually good opportunities, sure, but like don't plan around him, you know. What you're doing now is just kind of planning around him, basically, and that's in my opinion a big mistake, or not a big. It's definitely a mistake, you know. And it doesn't matter, like, if this guy ints, like, if this Yon int, he's gonna give less and less gold, you know? The more he dies, the less gold he will give, so the less it matters that he's dying. So if you manage to just get stuff done on the other side of the map, like, imagine, don't you think you would rather be here? Just killing these 2 low HP guys? 100%, like, man, this game would have looked so different if you would have just started clearing from here, really. Because then you would have ended up down here, and you could have 100% killed these 2. They're so low here.
Yeah.
And then you would have been really snowball. I mean, you're already doing fine here. You have 2 kills and whatever, but you would have probably had 4 kills at that point. And then with 4 kills in the early game as Ekko, you're just like, the game is in your hands, basically. Okay, let's see what you do here now.
I was hoping I would have enough influence now with that lead to like turn the situation on top so that the Garen doesn't get too out of control, but what you're saying makes complete sense, so I will apply this mindset later.
I mean, again, like all of this stuff that I'm saying, you always have to think about it in a context, right? There might be games where you want to gank top here and make sure that they like the top lane doesn't int too hard or whatever. It's just like you need to think about it. Can you actually kill the Garen, you know? I don't think you can, you know, like especially in a wave state like this anyways, but like just Yon with boots and nothing else, you know, he has no power himself basically. Like you're doing quite well, but Garen is a pretty tanky champ, so unless he's massively overextended and kind of low HP, I don't think you ever have real kill pressure on him. So planning around him, like pathing towards there, is not a good idea. By the way, I paused you really quick because do you play with like jungle timers? Like, do you have Blitz or something, some app?
Nope.
Definitely recommend you to like install something like Professor, Blitz, jungle timer, because it seems like you think that this camp is gonna respawn, but if you had that app, you would know 100% that it's not gonna respawn. But like even if you don't, like you would know that if it's gonna respawn, and not just that, also. Like when I was silver, I also didn't have this understanding of the game, but you should understand that this camp should just be up at this point, you know, because there's no reason. So like you should just understand that this is invaded and not gonna respawn in a second, because the way you cleared it earlier, like the first time you cleared them one after the other, right? So that means that they should also be respawning one after the other. So you just have the info already that it's respawn here, you don't need to wait, I guess.
Yeah, I needed a few seconds to realize that.
So yeah, I guess recalling is honestly the best thing you can be doing here. I don't think you can kill Pop at all. Like this guy's full HP, he's also level 6, you probably just die if you gank there. So yeah, this recall is not amazing, but it's fine actually. I mean, you don't play with Futures Market or Boots or whatever, so it's actually fine. Ampton Boots, solid base. Just at this point, you of course just don't really have anything to do. Not really. I mean, you can contest the Drake, I guess, which is what you're doing. It seems like you even get it. So, I mean, this Briar is, for example, trolling right now.
Yeah.
She is. Like, it's just not a time. Her bot lane is bad, but of course I want you to understand this as well, so you don't make the mistake yourself either. Because, like, she thinks she can do Drake now for whatever reason, when also she could just be farming or whatever, but, like, she really can't because her bot lane is nowhere near to help her. And, like, your bot lane, sure, the Ezreal is kind of low, but, like, the brand is even moving here, so it's a really bad timing, and that's also why she gets punished for it. So let's see how you play this. Okay. Oh, that's good. I think generally I would have played this a little bit different, maybe. Although I'm not sure if you even should have engaged onto her, because she probably beats you if you go into her face. Like, if you want to fight her, I mean, you could fight her here, right? You could place a W here and then E over this wall, or EQ over this wall, and then maybe fight her. But I don't even think you want to do that. She probably just beats you. So what you did here is fine. You definitely showed good patience, I guess. And then waited
Yeah,
for
and I
the
was also
Pantheon.
afraid of like Lux and MF rotating and
Mm-hmm.
me just getting caught in the middle.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Like, being more patient here definitely got rewarded. I guess you didn't play around their Briar E. It's kind of a new champ as well, but it looked at, like, in your matches you seem to play against that champ every game. So I
I
mean,
mean, yesterday I only got Warwicks and Briars, and by the end of the game, I was like, end of the day, I was like cursing some higher entity for sure.
but let me tell you, you should not be cursing. You should be thanking, because both of those matchups are actually really easy for Ekko. They genuinely are.
Ah, okay.
And the reason for that is you just need to respect them, because both, like, they're the same champ basically, kind of, you know, like they both just beat you up if you don't respect them. They will both win if you let them attack you, but Ekko is very good at not letting them attack you. Like, you just need to
Yes.
keep them at range with your Qs, only go in for passive procs, and then you win, you know? And especially Briar is even easier, because Briar, you know, she self-taunts herself if she Ws, you know? Like, she can't even stop herself, basically. So all you need to do is place a W on top of yourself, and then you will stun her basically every single time.
I do try to do that, but I feel like if I cannot kill them with like one full combo, then they can just run me down, and I struggle with that. And also, I'm just a little anxious when I get like a very strong early jungler like Warwick, because I I try not to think about my team too much, but you know the chance is always there, and that they get fed. And what I've noticed is that my mid laners are particularly vulnerable
But,
to
like,
the.
Warwick is not even good at ganking, not really. Like, Warwick is really just... I don't remember the last time I've even seen a Warwick jungle. No joke, I don't know. Warwick is... he's so easy to kite, and that's why he's a bad champion, you know? And especially for Ekko. Really just understand that you just need to throw Qs, and then you will never reach you, basically. So yeah, I think this is fine that you punish the Malzahar here. Let's see. You're wasting a little bit of time, though. I guess, yeah, you should just be making the decision to go mid right now, if anything. Either that or just farm here, you know? You're kind of... I guess you look top again. See if you maybe can kill this guy. I mean, he's looking kind of low. But, so I understand. And also he has a shutdown, so definitely he is a higher priority target in that sense. But at the same time, the Malzahar is looking kind of free here, of course, so...
So you think it was it an okay choice?
Yeah, I would say so. It was
I felt
fine.
like this would be less risky because I would have probably had to dive the Garen.
Yeah. I think that's fine. And diving Garen here is definitely a little bit risky. He doesn't have... Yeah, I mean, he will have ult by the time you're there, so... I don't know, like, you could get the shutdown, but you need to play it correctly for that, and in this elo I wouldn't trust anyone for diving, so I would really only take really free dives. And again, like, in this situation, again, your W is kind of missing, you know? Just get into the habit of placing your W before you engage onto someone. Either do it, like, here, either do it from outside of the brush, which might not give you too much value here because he's kind of far away. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you place it here now, which is in the range, 100%, it might actually force him to flash earlier. So then it just makes it a little bit better for you. But he can always just run away like this, so you will probably always have to flash to reach him. Just like now that you probably in your mind you already made the decision, okay, I'm gonna flash on this guy. So just place the W somewhere in his path before you do that, you know? So then when you're actually ending up fighting there or whatever, you have the shield or what, and like you have the shield or he has like his path blocked off. Imagine like maybe the Briar is around here or whatever, then the shield could even save you.
Yeah, okay. So do you think it's almost always worth valuing the like placing the W out of vision compared to placing it in a place where I can definitely reach it? Because usually when I
You can always
don't
reach it.
put it out, it's because I'm afraid that I'm a little far away.
No, you can. That's Ekko's kit is so nice. He's such a cool champion. He's so great because his kit is so like coherent and smooth, and you can always reach your W. You can't place it outside of a range, like unless you get CC'd or whatever, but you can always reach your W. If you place it at max range, you will always be able to reach it when you walk there and like E into it or whatever, you know? So don't be afraid of like missing out on being able to reach it. Yeah, here, I don't know if you could have went top, probably not. This guy's a little bit healthy, you just use your flash and everything. You also have a bunch of gold to spend, so yeah, what you're doing now I think is the correct play. What happened here?
My computer occasionally dies for a
Okay.
little bit,
Okay.
and I have to wait for it to turn back on.
Alright, yeah, okay. So, yeah, definitely, I guess, yeah, now just recall. I guess if you're greedy, you can... Wait, what the fuck? She just snuck in there. Okay, this guy's on 1 HP. I don't even... Can she jump over this wall? I'm not sure she might. She might actually be able to. So, yeah, if you're greedy, you can go for the crab here as well, but you don't need to, honestly. I think just basing here. Can you buy the rocket belt already? Oh, you're actually going for it, okay. Get it. Okay, let's see how you play this. See, W, W, W. Is the missing the whole time. And you... See, this is a bad habit. You value your ult cooldown less than your W. Oh, I like actually that you didn't put a point into your ult though. That's definitely good. But
I just felt like I wanted to get out rather than fight, because
yeah, you're still getting out. You're still getting out, but you don't need to use your ult, you know? That's the point.
Okay.
All you need to do is place your W. Literally. See, imagine, like, sure, she jumps on you. You can... It's fine that you don't react to that, but look, like, she's also not killing you that quickly. Like, she really is not. You're still super healthy here. All you need to do is place your W here. She's gonna get stunned. Then you auto-attack Q, proc passive. Maybe you can even kill her with your ult. But even if you can't, you can still just run, you know, because you have the passive proc movement speed. So you never need to ult in this situation, like never ever. Always just need to W. And especially since this seems to be a matchup that you play a lot, it's... Yeah, you even get punished here, right? Yeah, see, like this is exactly what's gonna happen. Or what could have happened before. Exactly this. So like, you did it the second time around, but you did it after you used your ult already. For no reason, basically. Can you buy the rocket belt here? Yeah, I can. Okay, so very solid timing. Like you're in a really good position to win this game, 100%. Someone's messaging this account. Oops. Yeah, it's not. It's not the person that the person is messaging, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Same thing as I said earlier. Started the blue here. Also, definitely. Never mind, your bot lane just... I confused him for a second. Yeah, so start at the blue. The more items you have, the less this matters, of course, because it doesn't take you as long of a time anymore to clear the camps, you know? So, like, the sequencing is only gonna be delayed by, like, 10 seconds at this point, and on next year it's only gonna be 5 seconds, so... the longer the game goes on, the less this matters, but on the first 2 clears, I think you should really value it a lot. Okay, let's see. Is there a top opportunity now? Yeah, I think now you definitely need to be here. And you are, I guess... Oh no. Oh no, oh my god. Wait, okay. Jesus, you lived a long time. And you actually did get him, so that's fine. I mean, you missed your Q, that happens. I guess smite him now, you know? Like, no reason to hold your smite for... Yeah, if you would have just smited him before, then it would have been way less awkward. Of course. So just be aware of that, right? Like, I'm sure, as I said, like... Most of this stuff can be completely excused by the fact that you're kind of new to League of Legends. And it's just, these habits need to be built, I guess, but just understand that Smite is a spell that you can use for fighting, right? Like, just use it now at this point. Just use it now and, like, maybe even use it before and maybe you can save the Yone as well, you know? No reason to hold it. Really no reason. Yeah, just... And also, yeah, you also could have just auto-attacked. You know, if you just auto-attacked another time instead of missing your Q, you probably saved the Yone here. Yeah, this was a little bit awkward, but at least you did get him in the end. He got his W up again, and then at least at that point you remembered, you still have the smite and you did finish him off. And I mean, you're disgustingly strong here. You have almost twice as much gold as the Briar here. So definitely should be looking to take Herald here. I hope that's what you do. Okay, it is. And how did you lose? I mean, you're not even that ahead, honestly. Yeah, Herald is definitely a good objective to focus. A lot of this stuff that I'm gonna tell you about general jungling is definitely gonna... it might change next patch, so... like take everything with a grain of salt, I guess. But I think Herald's still gonna be a good objective to take next patch. So yeah, this is what you should be buying. That's good. Like some people buy Sheen, definitely never buy Sheen.
Yeah, I saw that in your video.
Yeah, Sheen just it gives no stats, so there's no point buying it. Oh yeah, here I think definitely good to go bot. You can place W now. Like now is where you should be placing W, somewhere here. You place your W's too close to the enemies. It's definitely something that I can already say here. Like you need to be a little bit more in their head. Like just have a bit more awareness of their movement speed, I guess, and their, like just their pathing, you know. Like this W that you're placing is never gonna stun them. You need to just place it somewhere here. Because even you might not get the stun, but you will zone them away from going there, right? And that's what you want to ultimately achieve most of the time. Like getting the stuns with W's like these is not gonna happen in higher elos because, like in this elo it might happen, but in higher elos it's never gonna happen because they know what to expect, right? But if you just place it here, it doesn't even matter if they expect it or not. They just can't walk there, you know. So you just want to really place it in their path. It's better to place it a bit too far into their path than doing it like this, because like this you're just always gonna be like the MF can avoid it no matter what. She's not even in it, and then the Lux she can also she can just walk out very easily, you know.
And then would you sit in like the middle of the lane or like closer to the bush?
Yeah, closer to the bush usually.
The bush, okay.
Yeah, like usually people would try to hug the wall because it's as far away as possible from you, right? So yeah, I would probably this W I would probably place somewhere around here in this situation. And then I'm always saying this as well, like to have good mechanics you need to think about everything that's going on. I'm sure you know what Lux does, right? Like you know her Q. So it's like she's one of the very basic champions, so it's like that's the one thing you need to play around. So while you're walking up at her like this, just have your finger on your E and like be ready. Just be ready to dodge it. Either that or just if you're confident, just sidestep it. You know, it's like kind of easy. It's a kind of easy spell to bait out, but like you definitely shouldn't be getting hit by it. I guess
I didn't read the trajectory.
Yeah,
wrong.
I was also a little bit unlucky because you casted the W at the same time she hit you, so you stood still for a millisecond here. But yeah, I don't know. Like just be more aware of that, I guess. And you can still reach them, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Oh no, you attacked the tower. Rip. There's a setting that you can do where it's like you can target champions only if you click it, or if you hold that.
Oh, did I hit the turret?
Yeah, you hit the turret.
Oh, okay.
So see, like here you hit the turret instead of proccing the passive on Lux, and that made you miss out on the kill.
Oh, okay, that's so bad.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, with that setting, it just doesn't happen. And I mean, now you can still look here, honestly. That's another thing, like, they didn't just disappear, you know? They didn't just disappear, and we also saw that they didn't run, like, or we didn't see, but we can, like, I don't know, like, most people just won't run away right away without any pressure, so I think it would not have been a bad idea to just look for them again, you know? Just walk around here. See, of course, in hindsight, it's much easier to say, but we saw their HP, right? We saw that they were, like, really, really low, so I think you should still be looking to kill them here.
Okay.
Definitely, like, they're so low here. They're real free kills. Man, this Ezreal didn't even use ult. Holy shit, that was such a free double kill for him. Unlucky.
Rip.
This is why you just can't rely on your teammates ever, you know? Like, just focus on yourself and can never rely on anything from them. Okay, let's see. Okay, again, W needs to come in. Yeah, okay. You die here. And the only reason for that is not even that the fact that you didn't play around the Briar E. The biggest thing is just that you didn't place your W, you know?
Yeah.
That's gonna help you a lot if you just get that habit. Like, this is such an easy W. Like, literally just need to place it here. Either she turns around and dies to the tower and gives Ezreal the kill, or, like, you just stun her, you know? Like, it's a very simple W. And then also, if you... Like, do you know that you can throw out the Q while you can do, like, EQ, right? You can throw out the Q while you're E-ing forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like, you haven't really done that in this gameplay, which again I think is completely fine. You're a pretty new player, but like in this situation, for example, it definitely would have made a big difference. Like throwing the EQ, proccing passive right away, and then maybe like, you see, now all you did was get the like E, and then yeah, it didn't like, it only applied one passive stack, and it took you a long time to proc the passive, so she got everything out. And then another thing to think about in general with the Briar, you know, like her E, see, it does, she gains 40% damage reduction, and she heals. So because of the 40% damage reduction, what you want to do, it's just not proc your passive into that, like, and if possible, just don't even use any spells, because they're gonna deal 40% less damage, you know? Just wait for this scream to be over, and then attack, and then you're gonna, like, at this point, because you're so strong, you're just gonna kill her right afterwards, you know? And she's even building full squishy items, so, like, this was just really bad awareness of her E, you know? You should never get stunned here.
Okay.
Like, this definitely hurt a lot for this game. You gave a massive shutdown here, and you really didn't have to. You were in such, like, you're still in a good position, don't get it wrong. You're still the strongest person in the game, gold-wise. Like, I don't know, you probably can't 1v1 Garen, but you're still really, really good. You still have really a lot of items and whatever, you're completely fine here. But of course, that def also gave them quite a lot of gold. Just collecting another Malzahar kill. Wow, they're all shutdowns as well, that's crazy. How was this guy a shutdown? He's 2 and 5, what the fuck?
Would you say that up until this point, me giving the shutdown there was like the worst mistake?
100%, yeah. And especially because it was so avoidable, right? Like, there were so many things you could have done better. Could have placed a W, is like the first thing. Then the next thing is just like, as soon as you see her casting the E, you know? Like, it's a long cast animation. The reason it's so powerful and it stuns for a long time, see, it stuns for like 1.5 seconds. But the only reason it does that is because it charges up for a long time, you know? So, does it say how long it charges up? Yeah, over 1 second. So it's a full second. You have a full second to react to her charging it up and to just like not stand between where she's charging it up and the wall, you know? And if you would have just not walked there, then you would have never died, basically. So that was very easy to avoid. It was just like kind of bad awareness of the spell, I guess.
To be honest, I didn't even know she could do that, so...
It's, as I said, but this is what I'm saying, like, if you just don't know what a champ is doing, then just look it up if you are, like, serious about winning, I guess, you know? There's no reason... There's no reason to go into a game without info. And then here, I mean, I definitely think, of course, get the Malzahar here is super free, but afterwards you can for sure look top as well. I think you go somewhere else. Yeah, definitely look top here. Oh wait, he died, never mind. Oh, okay. He just died on the dive, I didn't see. Definitely clear your top side though. Like, you should be, if the Malzahar wasn't here inting, you should have just went to your top side here. And gotten your red. Got level 11 as well. So, you should just assume that this is up. And this is the stuff that you will be able to take later on. And you also want your, like, for example, you know that this camp, like the Grump and the Wolves, they're not up. You know that. So you don't want to be here when they're not up, you know? You would rather clear this and then maybe be there when the camps are actually up. You know, when they came up. But the jungle timers are gonna help you a lot with that, honestly, when you install these kind of apps, because then you're gonna know that it's gonna say like 1 minute or whatever. It's gonna make planning around that much easier.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is fine. Also good you're invading here a little bit. But definitely always be ready to punish them. Yeah, definitely unfortunate you missed your Q. Again, like, missing abilities, this is not the... This obviously, first of all, is not the stuff that I can really help you with, because it's always gonna be you that's inputting the stuff, but... it's like also not the... It's just excusable. Like, the best Ekko in the world sometimes misses Qs, it just happens. I guess, again, W, right? This is a very common trend in this game, right? You notice. Your Ws just need to be way more between the tower and the enemies. Because, again, this W is never gonna work, because why would she keep walking like this, you know? She's gonna turn around. She wants to go to her tower, so this W just provides no value for you. You don't even get the shield. Yeah. And then, of course, optimally, you just hit your Q here and then she dies. As I said, happens though. Wait, what happened though? You flashed and you ulted as well though, so wait, let's see. Okay, I mean, I guess you thought you would kill. I don't even think it would be worth though, that's the thing. I think using your flash here is not worth. Because, like, I don't know, this guy is not worth a lot, you know, it's like actually the biggest inter in their team. She probably isn't even worth. Actually, she might be worth full gold because she just got a kill, right? Yeah, okay. So she's worth full gold, but you are still worth a little bit more, you know? Like, your death is worth more than their death. So I think flashing for the killer is not really worth. And then also you might want to keep it so you can maybe kill the Briar. Okay. Yeah, you need to, like, now you know, right? Like, for the next cap, because in this game I think it's like the third time you get stunned by the Briar E, but it's such an easy spell to avoid, you know? And you told me you just didn't really know that the champ can do that, but now you know, right? She will push you against the wall if she charges up the Scream, so just don't let that happen and you're gonna have a much easier time in this matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, how much gold do you have? Going for the Drake is definitely a little bit risky. This guy's also quite healthy. You die here, you probably die here. I mean, you have ult at least. Oh, okay, never mind. Pretty good. In general, one thing though, don't place your W on top of the Drake. Don't ever do that. Especially, exactly because of what happened here, right? The Briar came, and you would much rather have your W to fight enemy champions than to fight the Drake, you know? Because for the Drake, it's only gonna block like one auto attack, and it's a really long cooldown, you know?
Yeah, but like here I thought she would jump at me, and that's why I put it there.
But you can still do that like as a reaction, you know?
Uh-huh.
You can still do that when she's actually doing it.
Like, it just takes a long time to proc up, so that's why I poked it like early.
But you didn't even have info on her jumping or anything. Like, wait, let's see.
But here we saw that she's coming.
No.
Here, but with the bush.
Now you casted it before. See, like you casted it before we even saw her, so it wasn't a reaction to that. I'm just saying, like it's a bad habit. Like don't put your W. I guess you casted it because you're kind of low HP, you know. So it's understandable. I'm just telling you, it's not good because you would much rather have the W in case exactly this happens, basically, right? Where you need to fight an enemy champion. And like here it was fine. The brand dealt a lot of damage and stunned her, so you got her. But still, you generally want to have the W. And like for your argument as well, like even if you have it as like a, even if you would have placed it here because you wanted to, like you said it takes too long, right? But if it actually takes too long, let's say she jumps over here, like she jumps over the wall here and actually engages you. You can still place the W and then just ult right away, and then you will be healthy enough that the W will still like proc, you know. So there's always you just need to be able to adapt in these situations. Yeah, it was fine the way you played it here, and also good. You respect his range. Just play with your cooldowns here. Yeah, good. You ult as well. Now W and just kill him, you know. Oh wow, he even stole it. That's unlucky, I guess. But yeah, just kill him, like, just kill him here. Wait for your W. It's definitely, I think here is actually really good that you ulted, because if this guy was better, he would have ulted you here right away, I don't know. Like, you actually had to ult here just so you become untargetable to the Malzahar ult. So this was pretty good, but you just need to be more aggressive on the Malzahar here. Like, he's super low and you're super strong, so just place your W now, EQ him. Like, place your W on top of him, because then if he ults you, he will just get stunned and his ult will get interrupted, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess you were silenced and you lost the Drake. It's kind of whatever. Like, yeah, Cloud Drake is not a bad Drake, but it's still... It's not like this the kind of stuff that loses your games, at least you lived. And then now... At this point, I guess you want to get to 2,500 gold so you can buy 2 needlessly large rods. Okay, you did that. It's good. Yeah, okay, you do that. Oh, I just saw you bought the blue trinket. As a jungler, you really want the red trinket. You really want
Okay.
the sweeper because most of the time you need to know if you're being spotted. It's so important as a jungler. Like it really is. You need to understand, like you need to know if you're being spotted, and also it's just like yeah, I like especially in this elo, I feel like sometimes not even the supports by the red sweeper. So yeah, but especially the junglers. Like as a jungler, you need the red sweeper. You need to know if you're being spotted. For example, here is a position where you need to use it because if you have the info that that they know that you're here, you're gonna play different, right? Than if you don't have that
Mhm.
info. Like because then if you have the like now, for example, you might be thinking, oh, they don't know I'm here. I can just E on top of her. But if you know that they have this ward here, then you can be like more reactive to the Lux Q, for example, because you know
Yeah.
that she knows that you're there and you might have to react to it.
But even if I sweep, don't they get the vision of me right at the beginning?
Yes, but you know that they know. You know that's the important part in this situation, at
Uh-huh.
least. You know, like that's important. That's what I said, right? Like the you're just gonna play different because you know that they know, and then you can just react differently. And like in some situations, also, especially on the minimap, people often won't see it. Like they will just see you for a millisecond. If you have your sweeper on, you won't be spotted. And like especially in low elo, people don't look at their minimap nearly enough. You're gonna get by a lot of times, really.
I guess I always just assume that they know somehow and then I just try to play it by ear. But would you say that's a bad habit?
Yeah, I think in general, assuming is a really bad habit in League of Legends. I
Okay.
think no joke. Like, don't assume so much. Just like there's so much info you can get. Like, you really don't need to assume a lot. Like, yeah, of course. Like in actual Halo, you of course are gonna be much better off if you can assume stuff. But like in your elo, really just get the info that you can get, and you won't need to assume anything. And like just look at the map, look at the scoreboard, see like the stuff that's going on item wise and whatever, and you really don't need to assume. And then like yeah, also like it's like someone in chat is saying like that was my problem. I kept assuming people would do the right play. That's another thing. Like you might assume that your teammate is gonna do the correct play, or like the enemy is gonna assume stuff. Like you know, sometimes when people say, "I thought he was gonna sidestep, that's why I missed my ability," or whatever. Like you know, that's such a cheap excuse. Like just don't assume anything. Just play in the moment, basically. I don't know, like adapt in the moment. Be able that's how you're gonna be good at the game, not by assuming many things. And especially, it's also what I said right in the beginning with like what you the fact that you chatted with the Pantheon and you made like a plan for the game. You know, it's another kind of
Mhm.
assumption you're making. Like you're assuming that the Malzahar is gonna play in a certain way and whatever, but you really can't. And like the lower the elo is, the less you can assume because people are just not gonna play in the way you're gonna expect them to play, basically.
Mhm.
So just make sure that you get all the info that you need, and then that you can punish all the mistakes that you like want to punish, you know, or that you can punish.
Okay.
Oh, oops! So you got a kill here, but you're actually decent at that, I would say. Like you're punishing a lot of mistakes, right? In this game, you got a lot of kills. You're punishing a lot of the stuff where they're like walked up like this, like all of this. Yeah, this is illegal, you know, and that's where you punish it. So that's good. Again, you didn't really react to the Lux Q, but we'll get there at some point, you know. Like as I said, you just haven't played the game for too long. It takes some time to get good at like sidestepping this stuff. But for me personally, for example, nowadays Lux Q is a spell I really don't get hit by often because it's just such a telegraphed spell, you know. Like you know when she's gonna throw it. She's probably gonna stand for a millisecond and then she's gonna throw it at you, and then you just have your movement spell to dodge it, and she should have a really rough time against you. But here it didn't even matter that you had hit. You still like the map didn't even care, you know. Like she should have started running right away. Like after she saw you, she should have started running, but instead she just walked into your face for some reason. So it's like, yeah, just this kind of stuff you need to punish, and that's what you're doing. So that's good. Right. Did she get hit her ult or what? No. Ah, she just wrapped around. Okay. Okay, like you're like a Lux Q magnet this game. You need to have
Yeah.
much better awareness of that. Oh my god.
In my defense, I think this was a really good Lux.
Yeah. And next time, definitely proc your passive here. You still have your E auto attack. Man, you're gonna almost kill her here, by the way. I think you actually will kill her here, no joke. You have Rabadons already as well. Well, this game you didn't even build Zhonya's third, so... Like, yeah, you actually kill her here if you just proc your E. Let's just look really quick. Look, your passive deals 640 damage. Your E deals almost 400 damage, so that's almost 1000 damage already. And then your Lich Bane deals another 300 damage, so that's like 1400 damage that you would deal here. And she has like 57 base MR, so she only takes 30% reduced damage. And then you also take a bunch of that away with your like you actually almost do true damage to her. Yeah, like you're like 34 of the magic resist you take away, so she probably takes like 15% less. So if you actually just ear here, she's dead, you know? Like this is a kind of... And even if she wouldn't be dead, you still would want to proc the passive just so you get the movement speed, you know? So, because she wouldn't kill you. Like, you think she would just kill you with one auto attack? No way, you know? Like, I understand that...
She would knock me down.
Yeah, but she was already running at you, you know?
Yeah.
So, and her Berserk even went out here. So yeah, like now just auto attack, she's literally dead, and even if she wouldn't be dead, you would still be able to run away. Like, that's how you play Ekko. You play with your passive procs. Because people won't be able to punish you. Like, yeah, okay, Briar is a champ that can actually punish you a little bit because she has this point to click stun, but like she just used it, so she will have it on cooldown. So yeah, like this would have actually killed her here, at least. Yeah, see, like, okay, you even killed her afterwards with the Q passive proc. And then you had to flash away. But if you had just done that earlier, you probably didn't. Like, you would have been in a better position. You wouldn't have had to flash away from the Garen, I guess.
Okay.
Of course, at this point, like, it's good that you do at least flash away, because dying here would have been bad, of course. But at this point, you want to hold your flash as much as possible, right? It's like, I'm always saying, like, look at your own shutdown and like basically just count. Like, you're basically worth 2.5 people at this point. And also not just that, of course, like if you now you're even, yeah, you're worth as much as you can be worth. You're almost worth 4 people. So just your flash is more valuable than any other flash in this game. At this point, definitely, yeah, this is a true silver classic where everyone's just going mid, but my god, you got hit by every single Lux heal ever thrown at you. Honestly, like, after you get the Garen here, just go for Nash right away. This is how you need to... This is what you need to do to close out games. You are so... You need to understand how unbelievably strong you are here, you know? Like, you're literally full build, basically. Like, you can upgrade the Dark Seal. But you're unbelievably strong here. You alone could be doing the Nash here with the Yone. 100%. But your whole team is around anyways. Like, yeah, okay, Pantheon is not up, but... You just gotta pick on, like, their strongest member, basically. I mean, Briar is also kind of strong, but I think the Garen is actually the scariest one because she's so squishy. So, like, literally just ping Nash now. Like, this is how you're gonna win games, by getting the Nash, and then you're gonna have a really easy time pushing. But instead, let's see what you get done here. It's just a very general thing as well. Like, I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, there's a lot of input, I'm sure you won't be able to remember all of it, but of course that's also why I'm gonna upload the session. It's just, like, a general thing, after you get picks, especially in the mid and late game, like at this point 24 minutes, it's I would even say it's almost late game. For you personally, it is late game, you have a lot of items. So at this point, after you get picks, you get numbers advantages, you always need to be looking what can you take on the map, like what objectives can you take on the map. Of course, to really get closer to victory directly, you want to take towers, but to get closer to victory indirectly, you can take like Drakes, that might help you win more fights, or just take the Nash, which helps you get more towers more easily, I guess, right? And also win fights because it gives you stats. So, yeah, I guess you're kind of, yeah, like, you need to be at the Drake here, 100%. This is a mistake. You just value kills too much here, but, like, these kills are not, they're not achieving anything, and meanwhile the Briar just 1v3 to your team, you know?
I was just trying to defend our base.
Exactly, but it's not your job. Like, it's not your job here. You need to understand that. First of all, your Pantheon is coming up in a second, and you're gonna be there too late no matter what, you know? So you didn't even defend it. You just killed them after you didn't defend, and that's not achieving much. And meanwhile, you lost like the Drake and 3 of your teammates. Yeah, you can't plan for that, but you should just be here no matter what, you know?
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, you should just be here. You would have saved them 100%. You can deal with this guy. Of course, you also lost the Drake. Yeah, you got the kills. It's fine. You're still in a fine position. I would say, due to the fact that Ekko's quite good against Briar and this guy is building full squishy. Like, normally Briar doesn't build these items, by the way. I don't know if they do in your games, but normally they build stuff like Stride Breaker or whatever that make them kind of tanky, and then they're not as easy to deal with, but like a Briar that's building these items, you can just one-shot her. So it's actually quite easy. So this is really, should be really favored for you. Oh, I guess your PC crashed again.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely not optimal. Does it happen in like team fights or whatever?
It usually happens when I walk at somebody, because I guess the game, I mean, I guess my computer can suddenly take the increased action, you know? So
Okay.
it's quite awkward, actually.
It's definitely not optimal for winning games, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
For sure, in general, like, this is what you want to not do much, you know? These kind of engages. Get into the habit of trying to always engage from the sides. Because this is just giving them... You're dying here, right? I'm pretty sure. So... Are you?
And this is why I like the Zonias.
Yeah, this is why you like Zonias, but this is what would never happen in like higher elos, you know? It's like the fact that this MF just randomly walks into your W, it just wouldn't happen. Not even just that, like, even if the W wasn't here, why would she be standing here, you know? She has an auto attack range, she's an ADC, she doesn't need to be in your face, so she's just like literally donating a kill to you. So it's like, yeah, this is not the stuff where you should be liking Zonias, really.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, it actually almost killed you, I would say. Like, here, for example, it's much better to just ult. Just ult so you get all your HP back. Because at this point, you don't necessarily need your ult to play the game. You're so strong. I think I would have just ulted, because this actually makes you really vulnerable to like other spells coming up again and then you dying. See, like, I think Malzahar... Yeah, if he timed it, yeah, he even timed it correctly, but it didn't matter because he got the shield at least. But like, I don't know, like, I think Zonia's is a really overrated item for Ekko. I mean, most good Ekkos don't build it, so, and there's a reason for that. It just takes away a ton of your carry potential, especially if you build it before Rabadons. But even after that, it often just doesn't give you great value. Like, the value here was not value that should have happened, honestly. And I assume, oops, and I assume it's not it's the same most of the time. Okay. Oh. Okay. Wait. Okay, this actually turned out better than I thought it would. Okay, let's see. Okay, you don't have any info on him, I guess. So you just face check him here. So now you're silenced, but the first reaction always needs to be place W. Right? Place W probably in the brush. Okay, you're doing that a little bit late, but you're doing it at least. Okay, she flashes away. You still have ult, that's good. You're a little bit lucky to live here. I feel like you probably could have died as well, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It was not played optimal or anything, but I think that the first reaction in these kind of situations where you're accidentally face-checking someone needs to be to W. Of course, you can't do it right away because he silenced you, but it's better than running here, you know? Like, you don't even know who you could meet here, you know? You're just running into the dark, so it could be very possible that someone of his team is here, so it's much safer to just, like, stay in here or just turn around and place your W somewhere instead of running more into the possible enemies. And then, like, in this scenario, you just want to proc your passive and run. Generally, like, Garen is not a champ you will beat, you know, so I think just auto-attack him once here, place your W, Q, and then like proc your passive with E or whatever, and then or just another auto attack and then run.
Okay.
Like don't even fight him. Garen is gonna beat you here. He's just too tanky, and also he has a bit of backup from his team as well. Definitely good that you dodged the Lux Q, and then he just ulted you a little bit too early, I guess. Yeah, your team full up. Again, you need to do national. Like, you need to understand that, I mean, it's not a massive numbers advantage, but you definitely win this, you know? Like, you really do. Your ult cooldown is also so short at this point, you really just need to force Nash. You need to get the objectives. I see that you did it at some point later, but you already can, you know?
Okay.
Already can force it. Like, because, yeah, they might try to contest it, but then you just turn on them and you have the numbers advantage and kill them, you know?
Okay.
Oh, wow, okay. She deals a lot of damage with this, but... Yeah, I guess that's why you just need to respect her more. If she builds items like this, you just need to respect her. Even more than you normally do. So, we see her here. Yeah?
So I didn't really want to force this Nash because exactly why I wanted to because I wanted to respect the Briar, but then it just kind of fell apart anyway. So I feel like these are the scenarios that I struggle with the most.
Yeah, and respecting Briar doesn't mean you stop playing the game, you know? It just means you don't walk into a range like you did here, you know? Her Q range, we can't see it here, but her Q range is around like this, I'm pretty sure. Like something around this. So you just make sure, like, your Q is longer than her Q range, basically. That's why the matchup is good for you. And so that's why if you see her actually like pressing W, her W gives her a lot of movement speed. So when she does it, she will catch up to you. So either you E away, or you just place like a W right on top of you and just like ult or whatever, like just react in some way, you know. But basically here you just you could have ulted easily here. You had like a second or whatever to ult, so definitely could have had the reactions to ult here, and then you probably just kill her. Because now she used everything, right? You really didn't have to die here. Your W also didn't proc yet. That was just like a mechanical mistake, I guess, and it happens, you know, like it happens, but this is not like a... See, imagine you just ulted, then you kill her, and then for sure you just get Nash, right? It's so free. Only the MF lives, and like I'm sure then even like you guys would have made the decision to just do Nash. This is not like a... It's just not something that should have happened, right? Like, I just understand that. It's not like you made a wrong decision here or something. It's just like... I mean, you made a little bit of a wrong decision by walking into a range, but the wrong decision was not to look to do Nash here. It was just the fact that you didn't ult, right? And this is just the kind of mistakes that you're gonna avoid more and more the more you play the game. I guess you're just gonna make less of these kind of clumsy mistakes, I guess. I don't know what they were thinking starting the Nash, but yeah. This is, as I said, like, this is not the stuff that I can really help you with, of course, hitting your abilities and stuff and using your ult correctly, but this is definitely just, like, that's... The fact that you died there was only because you just didn't have the reactions to ult in that scenario.
Yeah.
And nothing else. Definitely good that you go for the Malzahar here, actually. Really good. I feel like a lot of low elo players would have just tried to last hit the Garen and then the Malzahar might have lived, but it's good that you have the awareness that you can just kill both of them here.
Yeah, and I mean, I had enough kills already, so...
Yeah, that as well, of course, but it's always better to get 2 kills than only getting 1, of course, while 2 of your teammates actually died as well. Yeah, and then if you see stuff like this, you need to punish it as well. Like, you don't see it yet, but like now you need to move there. Oh, again, you just didn't ult. Man, here you would have even killed her with the ult, I'm pretty sure. So,
Okay.
I mean, why didn't you ult? You know, you just died without using ult. You never want to die without using ult, especially in the late game. Like, especially because the ult cooldown is literally 30 seconds, it's nothing, you know? So, here, like, you just let her beat you up, you know? Instead of using ult. And the ult clone was even on top of her here, so it would have hit her and probably one-shot her. Oops. So just like... The first thing you're doing wrong here every single time is just not really respecting her range. Which is like hopefully something you'll be able to do in the future after I told you now that you just need to respect her more. but then you also just don't use your abilities basically, right? Like your W, okay, you use it now, but like, your biggest, most important, see, like the ult time would have been right on top of her, and probably would have one shot her. Let's see, how much is ult damage? 1,700 damage plus passive proc, so another 800 damage. Plus, like, I don't know, is there item damage for ult? Not really, but like, so almost 3,000 damage. She has 2,000 HP. I think it would have genuinely one shot her, and if not, at least it would have. Literally, it would have healed you to full HP, and it would have let you live long enough so the W can proc here, and then you 100% kill her with like your next spell, you know? So,
Yeah.
just like 2 times in a row where you just didn't ult basically, and that definitely made a big difference here this game. Like decision making wise, not even that many massive mistakes, it's just really not ulting. I mean, we can say that it's kind of decision making, but it could also just be reactions. Yeah, see, like, you're so strong, you're basically soloing the net. You actually solo it completely? Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I feel like you can do it all the time if you're full build.
Yeah, it's a joke. They're also buffing it next patch a little bit, but yeah, like, Nash is a very easy objective to do, and... Well, you did it. It's good that you have the awareness to do that, actually, I have to say. But, like, just imagine how much easier it would have been even with your team then, you know? Because, you know, if you didn't know, like, if you do Nash on your own, you get a debuff. And you know that what the debuff does? It makes so you deal 50% less damage to the Nash, you know?
Yeah.
So if someone else is tanking it, you'll deal even more damage, and you'll literally do it so fucking quickly. It's like... this took you, like, not even a long time, because you're so strong, but... You're not even full build here. Okay, now you bought Anti-Heal, which I think is fine. I don't think it's actually necessary. And the reason for that is, again, like I've mentioned it 20 times, but this guy is just so squishy. And if you just one-shot her, she won't even be able to heal. And you are able to one-shot her, you just need to have the confidence to do it. Like, you just need to be the one engaging on her, I think, if she builds these kind of items, you know?
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know if all the Briars build these items, as I said, like, usually Briars build more tanky stuff and then you can't one-shot them. But then they also don't deal as much damage to you, I guess. So, I mean, I think you said you also want to improve on, like, capitalizing capitalizing on mistakes, or, like, seeing opportunities. I think when it comes to getting kills or whatever, it's definitely something you're quite good at already. It's just, like, you need to understand that, especially in this, like, mid to late game, as I already said, you need to always get more, you know? Only getting kills is not gonna get you the win. Okay, another thing where you just didn't have the awareness. The thing that it fears, of course, you know? So weird.
Okay.
See, like, when she hits her ult, you can see, like, this circle, just move out of it, you know? Everyone that's inside the circle will get feared, and you're so close here, right? You just basically made the choice to stay in it because you didn't know. But if you just had moved out here, then this would have been, like, much better. You wouldn't have gotten here, and then you probably could have attacked her a bit easier. And the Ezreal wouldn't have been dead or as low. Is he dead? Yeah, he's actually dead here as well. And then, did you place W here? Oh, you did. Oh, you placed here. Yeah, and then here. See, this is what I mean. There is no reason for you to stand like this. No. None. Like, zero reason. Just stand back and play with your cooldowns. That's everything you need to do here, right? And it's probably very similar for you against champs like Warwick or whatever. You just need to really respect their range. Respect their kits, you know? Respect the fact that she will do what she does to you in a second here. She will just, like, kill you because you didn't respect her range. But your Q has a long range. You could be standing, like, back here, throwing the Q when she comes out of her resurrection, and then you just kill her with a passive proc, and she has no counterplay to that, you know? No reason, like, or just stand here, like, just wait here. You even have your W again in 2 seconds, because it's, like, late game, and it's not even a long cooldown anymore, so... There's so many ways to not die here, but you just made, like, the decision to stand on top of her, and then she will just kill you, because that's the only thing she can do, you know?
Yeah.
She even dies,
Yes.
but...
see that
So like,
too.
yeah, in the future, I hope you have a much better time because this matchup is actually very easy if you just understand that. Like, really just respect her. And then, yeah, as I said before, and like, you really, after you get these kind of kills, you just want, like, of course, the Briar made a kind of big play here, got a bunch of kills. But, like, you had a good numbers advantage, you should have been able to, like, take the bot tower. Like, always just take the towers that are easiest to take. Generally, let's say. Let's not always, but generally just take the towers. And that's usually, like, in this scenario, of course, these are gonna be the easiest ones, and they're also giving good gold as well, you know? Like, if you're around them, they give, like, 550 gold, so it's like 2 kills, basically. It's a lot of gold. At this point, for you personally, it doesn't really matter, but for some of your teammates, it definitely does matter. They don't have full build yet, so... Man, your Yon is 1 in 15, holy shit. So what you're doing right now is just like this perma fighting, you know? And it's just not really leading to anything that's gonna win you the game. And that's also the reason why low elo games are usually so long. Because people just don't know what to do after they get the kills. Like, why? See, like, just push here. Like, you're able to push. Why are all of you guys thinking about going base, you know? You really shouldn't. You need to understand that Ekko is really, like, genuinely understand that Ekko is probably in the top 3 of the best scaling champs in the game. If you play him well, you know? And he really is one of the most like, strongest champs in the late game. So just understand that and play with confidence in these situations where you achieved late game this game so quickly, you were like full build so incredibly quickly. You should have definitely been able to carry this game theoretically, let's say. And as I said, you have a lot of knowledge you need to just gain with experience and whatever, but theoretically in the position you're in, you should have had a decently easy time to carry this game.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well after the game, but during the game, in this like mid and late game phase, I just really didn't know that much what to do.
Yeah, as I said, like now of course you hopefully have a better understanding. The important thing is, especially if you get like high priority picks, like for example getting the Briar here, right? She's the biggest problem, of course, of the enemy team. The other ones you're dealing with quite easily now. So after you get her, like really look, what can we get for this? She's gonna be dead for a long time now. So like, can you even maybe end at this point? Not really, probably because you don't have a minion wave, but you can definitely try to get something done. Man, you're not dealing a lot of damage. And again, like, these Ws, of course, they're never achieving anything. You're probably not gonna hit him either, because he's quite fast, but... You know. Yeah, I mean, you took just a little bit too much damage, honestly, here, but... That's what, yeah, just clear the jungle here. You really need to clear the jungle here. Now, this is such a mistake, the fact that you're basing here. Because the jungle would heal you up so much. Understand that, like, the jungle would heal you up a ton. Actually, you could have cleared all of these camps, you would have been full HP, probably. And then you have your ult as well. And you could have definitely gotten this tower 100% at least. So yeah, this was a big mistake by you. Not staying there. It's just such a back and forth. Okay, now, I mean, yeah, now Elder is coming up. Can you see that when she's casting it outside of vision? I don't even know. No, you actually can't. Ah, no, she didn't even do that then. Okay. Again, like, next time you'll have better awareness. Like, just don't get stumped like this. Well, definitely took you a little bit too long to place W. Let's see, though, overall. Wait, where was your ult? I think in general, okay, like a general thing in these fights as well, is like you need to be looking for way more picks yourself, you know? You're just playing kind of reactive here, but like you need to be the proactive player at this point. Like Ekko in the late game needs to be the proactive champion. because he's very good at it, you know? You just need to be, like, let's say you need to be standing here, placing a W in here, going over the wall, killing the MF, and then, like, looking either, like, ulting back or whatever, you know? Like, just make the picks, you know? You're champion, you've experienced it, like, 21 times this game already. Like, well, not 21, like, let's say the last 10 kills were probably one-shots. So at this point, you should have understood, like, how strong your champion really is. And, like, all of these squishy targets, you're literally one-shotting them. So just, like, look for these picks. Don't be the one that has two Zonyas in the fight here and this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and then you just place the W a little bit too slowly. Or did you not have it up? Let's see. No, you had it up. Definitely, like, place it now, you know? Place it now and then ult now as well. I think your ult clone will be around here. Hit a nice ult on her. It seems like you really didn't have the understanding that this guy was quite squishy. Like, yes, she heals up a lot, but if you kill her before she can even heal, then she can't heal. Well, that's just how it is, you know? Because you also deal a ton of damage, so... Just... If you make, like, these smaller abilities on... If you put these smaller abilities on her and it just takes you a long time, then... she will have the opportunity to heal, but if you just burst her down, then she just won't even have the opportunity to really heal. That's like the big thing, I guess.
So I should just be more aggressive in late game and during
Yeah.
these fights in general.
Yeah. For having like a game-winning impact and whatever, definitely just be more aggressive, and just in general also. I mean, that's also something I said before the game review already, right? Just be more aggressive overall. But I think you have decent aggression in some scenarios, just like... See, like, wait, let me just go back as well here. What you want to avoid in these kind of fights is that it's gonna be a coin flip, you know? You don't want it to be a coin flip where it's like both junglers are alive and just one of them presses the smite better, you know? That's what you want to avoid, because how bad does it feel to play 40 minutes of a game just for all of it to come down to like this kind of one reaction from one player that is like... Honestly, it can always go either way, kind of. So it's just much better to create a numbers advantage before the fight, and then just like have the fight won, and then you can take the objective, you know? So that's why you want to be looking for picks. We saw this. And now, okay. I mean, they got Elder, I guess. Did they?
Yes.
I mean, they still didn't get it, though.
But they will, because there's a second fight and, well, that goes fully as well.
You can ult this, by the way. Like, next time also ult this. You even... Next time, when you get hit by a Briar ult like that, just like, look at your ult clone, position on top of it, wait until she's on top of you, and just ult right away. And like, place your W. You almost did it correctly. You just don't be afraid to use your ult aggressively. Like, your ult, first of all, in late game, is really not a long cooldown anymore, and it deals so much damage. And it's a really difficult spell to hit compared to most other spells, right? So if you can get a hit on it, which is kind of easy here, you should just take it. And it would have made it would have made such a difference. It would have killed this guy right away. You probably would have won the game off of that.
Yeah, I can see that now.
And well, you even ulted back here on the Drake. That's definitely not optimal. Because now, of course, like, you really want to have the ult for fighting at this point. I don't know why you ulted here. I mean, you were kinda low, but you were only half HP, so this ult definitely... You know, not having ult now definitely hurts. Yeah, Briar back with full HP, and now you just die, and I guess game is over. I mean, not quite, but they get Elder, they are all alive as well, they get Nash. Oh, you even just FF'd, you didn't even give it another shot, holy shit, wow. Man, that's such a weird, it's honestly such a weird thing to do, in my opinion, to surrender here. You're really gonna play a 40-minute game to just not even let them end naturally? Like, they could even... If you put me in this game right now, I'm on Ekko, I will win this game. I'm gonna tell you, like, this is winnable, 100% still. Yes, they have, like, everything, but they still need to do quite a bit, you know, to win this. So there's a lot of opportunities for them to fuck up, so I think FFing here is definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops. Someone else logged in. Oh, well. Yeah, good thing we managed to finish the game review. Yeah, I also went a little bit longer, but I wanted to get through the whole game. So, yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me now, and I will upload the video as well at some point.
So basically, just to recap, my biggest mistakes are the W placements and the ulti timings that are not all that correct. And I should take just more proactive aggression in late game, basically, and respect the ranges of like Briar and such melee champs.
I would say that's like more, yeah, like the last thing I think is more your biggest mistakes, I would say. Like, very common mistake is just that you're not really thinking about the enemy's abilities actively enough, I guess, right? Like, the Lux Q, you got hit tons of times. The Briar E, you got hit way too many times. The Briar Q, you didn't really respect the range. Also, just her general kit, right? You really didn't respect the fact that she just heals a ton if you let her auto-attack you a lot, so yeah, this is thinking more about the enemy's abilities is definitely gonna help you a lot. And then I guess, yeah, I don't want to obviously everything can improve a little bit, right? It's just how it is for someone in your elo. But I think to focus on, yeah, placing the W better, maybe using your ulti a bit more aggressive sometimes is definitely not a bad idea. Other than that, I mean, you didn't have too many like very obvious bad habits in my opinion. Overall, I think those are like the main things. But yeah, the biggest thing is going to be, especially since Briar seems to be a champion, like you literally play against her the last 3 games, and then Warwick as well. Yeah, Warwick also 3 games in a row. Man, like these champs, really, all you need to do is respect them. Just respect them, play with your passive procs, and then you're gonna win. Trust me, it's just understand that if you let them get close to you, they will win, and that's just how it is. That's just how Riot designed them. But it's completely fine. They're really easy matchups. They really are, and you outscale both of these champs very hard and like quite easily as well. So yeah. Any more questions or?
Just one more quick question. I usually ban Nafiri because it's very hard for me to deal with her if she gets fed. Do you think it should be an easy matchup,
I
even
don't know.
if she's fed?
What have you ever played against Nafiri jungle? I have never.
No, but when she plays mid, and she gets fed, then in my experience, she can completely take over games.
I mean, any champ can do that, honestly. I guess she seems fine. I actually thought she would have a much worse win rate. I mean, I personally like banning something that's my lane opponent, but I think Nafiri is not. Look, like champions that don't have CC, like Nafiri for example, she doesn't have CC. They don't really counter Ekko, you know. Ekko always has quite easy counterplay against those kind of champs. So for me personally, I don't have trouble dealing with her. But of course, if they're fat, it's a problem. But it's the same with, like, let's look. A fat Akali is a bigger problem in my opinion. For example, like there's so many champions that if they are fed, they are a problem. But Nafiri is also quite easy to shut down in the early game. I don't know. She scales pretty well, but she's also pretty weak early at the same time. So yeah, I don't know. Like ban whoever you want, really. Ban whoever you struggle against the most. But I personally don't think she's a champ worth banning.
Okay.
So yeah. As I said, yeah, I hope you learned a lot. And as I said, I will upload this session to YouTube in a couple of days. And if you have any more questions or whatever, you can always just ask me on Discord, of course.
Yeah, sure. And thank you very much. I've definitely learned a lot.
Alright, that's nice to hear.